The Rose Bowl has a lot of tradition. People that follow football, for me and the team, it's more of a business trip, whether we're playing in the Rose Bowl or in a parking lot. It's all the same.
And Curt Cignetti says it's the same, but it's still the Rose Bowl. And it's going to be a bunch of firsts. The first time UCLA is playing in a Big Ten conference game. First time Indiana's been out there since 1982, just out to the city of Los Angeles. Ross, this might be more of a challenge for Bruins fans than perhaps they thought it would be when they saw what their first Big Ten conference opponent would look like.
Yeah, for sure. A lot of firsts, like you said too. Two first time coaches, right? Coaching in their first game there. You saw last week. Curt Cignetti's group put up a lot of points, right? A record number of points, 77 against Western Illinois and 701 yards, which was also a record. Cignetti was pretty confident in the preseason, and that team returned a good amount. And you wondered if the new coach and the new staff could kind of get everybody going, get everybody playing together. And they look pretty solid. Certainly the last game especially, it's got to be good mojo going into this week as the Big Ten gets cranked up, especially for Curtis Rourke, the transfer from Ohio, 15 of 17 last week for 268 in 2 scores. So we haven't seen a ton from UCLA, right? They played at Hawaii, struggled a little bit, but pulled the game out in the very end. And then they were on a bye week 2, but saw plenty of Indiana last week to scare you a little bit if you're a defender.
And Curt Cignetti and the Hoosiers, man, they are taking no prisoners right now. They are going out there, putting up every point that they can. And I respect that. First-year coach, sort of launching his regime in that way, wanting to make sure that folks are recognizing and respecting what Indiana's doing. UCLA now has had, though, that bye week that Ross mentions to try and prepare themselves. And I'm actually thoroughly impressed with the response they had in half number 2. You travel all the way over to the islands. You get the opportunity to play. First half didn't go well. They're looking sleepy out there. Came back in the second half, looked like a much better football team, more efficient and consistent on offense, a defense that began to stymie the Bows. So, they have themselves. They should be as prepared now for this game than they were by comparison to the first.
And we talk about the 77 points they put up. That Hoosier defense is playing really good. They've yet to give up 200 yards in either of the 2 games they've played this season.